What's happening, everybody? You guys can go ahead and grab your mics at this point. We welcome you to another episode of San Diego Prep Insider. We're joined by the Mission Bay. I'm going to call them reluctantly the football team. And before we go any further, this being an episode that more Mission Bay people are going to watch, I feel obliged to address something. Why the hell do you think I hate Marshawn Cherry? That's like one of my best friends on the show. A couple of days ago, we made a thing saying that we made a podcast saying like, oh, Marshawn is holding back the team because of all these guys. And you're going to meet all of them, and they're all laughing. And look, here's the 30-second explainer of this. Statistically speaking, the likelihood that 6 guys decided to go from the basketball team over to the baseball team or to the football team without having played football the last couple of years of high school, and all 6 of them are now like legit elite level players, is something that I have not seen happen in my almost decade covering high school sports. Just an anomaly that I would say, if you don't hear that as me being sarcastic, then you're not listening to the right show. And you can go enjoy a different show, and this show just isn't for you. Because 2 things. One, if you hear me taking out a coach or a program, someone where, like I said, John Maffey, older than dinosaurs, it's because I know those people personally. If you think that I would actually come on here and sideswipe someone like that, again, you're not listening to the right show. I don't do that to people. The only people that catch shots or strays are friends of the show. So it's a sign of respect, but also the statistical likelihood that you would get 6 basketball players just show up randomly one day and be like, what could we do? How about we go 5-1 out the gate? Charlie has 36,000 passing yards at this point in the year. 42,000 earlier. Okay, so that being said, we're going to cook up the beef and eat it. There is no beef. If you guys hear that as beef, you're listening to the wrong show. Go enjoy some other methodology. Okay, getting off my soapbox, let's introduce everybody here in the room. Let's go left to right, please. For coaches or for kids, I say name, grade, and position, please. For coaches, name if you know what grade you would still be in. If not, how many years you've been at the school. We're starting over here with you, Coach.
Coach Mooney, defensive coordinator. And what else you asked?
How many years? This is first year for you, yes?
Yeah, at Mission Bay, yeah. First year at Mission Bay.
What was it?
Name, grade, position.
Jacob Morgan, grade 12, and outside linebacker and defensive end.
Gavin Gerard, grade 12, and DB.
And one of the basketball players.
Isaiah Whitehurst, grade 12, wide receiver, DB, linebacker, safety, and punter.
Athlete.
Yeah.
Punters are athletes too.
Yeah.
Charlie Hutchison, senior, quarterback.
Kai West, left tackle, defensive tackle, senior.
Coach Tate, head coach. I do not know what grade I would be in.
This has been 4 years for you now as head coach?
No, I became the head coach during COVID, so like spring 2021.
So 2 fullish seasons and 1 sort of abbreviated, not really kind of that, whatever that spring 2-game thing was.
Extended scrimmage period.
Yeah. What the brief, the hypothetical world of spring football.
Exactly.
Okay, before we go any further, let's hammer home the joke one more time about you guys being the basketball players, and I want to play a game called Championship or No Championship, where you guys as basketball players are going to answer us just, do you think if we rolled out of bed and played this sport for Mission Bay, we could win a championship? Because it seems like you guys hypothetically right now could be cruising towards a football championship. And so I'm just curious. Let's go down. We'll start with some of the fall sports. Boys water polo. Championship, no championship.
That one, I'm not a great swimmer.
No championship.
No championship?
Not for water polo.
Okay.
Not for water polo.
Golf.
Oh, yeah, we could get a chip.
I heard some.
What division? What division are we? Because we got some good golfers on the squad already.
Okay, so just put it into you're the D2 golf.
D2 golf?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And there's only 2 divisions.
With my guys Paul Howard and Ben Ketchum.
So
Mission
Paul
Bay
Howard,
golfers.
Ben Ketchum, and you are the 1, 2, 3 on that D2 golf championship team?
Yeah, and Gavin. Gavin's a tough golfer.
Gavin's there for team support. I'll be the caddy. I'll be the one with the snacks.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, volleyball. Championship, no championship.
Championship for sure.
Championship.
For sure.
Like hands down?
Yeah,
Hands down.
Definitely.
Is that just because of the boosties and the height and all? Like it just translates
Yeah,
naturally?
we already have Charlie Grebbing who
Yeah.
plays volleyball, and he's one of the best players, and he picked it up last year.
Okay. Baseball.
Yeah, championship. I used to throw gas in Mission Bay Youth Baseball.
That's what you like, Coach. I see you unfairly furrowing your brow there because if your quarterback is confident that he throws gas, why not? All right, lacrosse championship, no championship.
Championship. I tried to tell them that I want to play lacrosse this spring, and they didn't like that idea. But I still think we could get it.
Wait. There's active lobbying right now that you're saying you would be down to go play lacrosse this year.
He's not playing no damn lacrosse.
You're not going to let us bully and force. We're not going to peer pressure.
I think lacrosse would be fun, and I'm deciding it's either
You're voting championship.
Championship,
Just
yes.
out of raw athleticism because none of you have picked
Could
up
you
a lacrosse
imagine?
stick.
No, but
Okay.
Isaiah and Marcos.
Be a scary
Lacrosse.
team.
It would be a scary lacrosse team.
Are you allowed to hit in lacrosse?
Yeah.
Within reason, yeah.
Shoulder, like,
Yeah. So
It's over with. Badminton, championship, no championship, or title, no title.
title for sure.
All right, last two sports we got here are soccer, title, no title.
A title. I used to play goalie in the 5th grade.
Is there a sport that you haven't played yet? And the last one is track. Assuming that you guys then have to spread out and do a fair amount of the different, like, you have to do a decathlon's worth of events amongst yourselves.
Especially with our track team right now.
Yeah.
But I'm asking specifically because to drive home the Marshawn Cherry point. It sounds like Marshawn is guilty of keeping Mission Bay from winning about 5 different championships. Marshawn, you hear that? He throws gas. He has irrational confidence in his lacrosse skills. Like that's the most irrational lacrosse. What? You know, look. That's again. That's where I want those people that heard anything else of anything of what got brought up earlier this week to actually, we're not actually being angry. It's just funny to think that you guys are that level of confident and you're in just as a grade and as a group. We got up into it was open, yes, for basketball.
It was
D1
championship.
You got into the D1 championship for basketball and you said, all right, we know now what it takes. Let's go apply this to some other sports. And that's where I'm like, that's just crazy. So let's talk then less of the stupid shenanigans and more of the real football. For you guys, is this going how you planned? Like, is this what you thought this year was going to be?
Definitely. I feel like we came out this year just wanting our senior year to be like the best for us in general and way to put our athleticism out in a different sport. And I feel like growing up all my life, I've always looked at football as something I wanted to do, but I never really thought about it until this year. I mean, this past like 2 years ago, maybe thought about it. And then I didn't, like in sophomore year, because I was starting to get bigger. And then we just said, all right, it's our last hoorah. We might as well just go for it. So we just went for it.
I mean, was it really just like is it just a text thread? Like, was this a certain moment?
It was built up because of him for me, because he was texting me since I was in sophomore year.
And you're pointing at Coach or you're pointing at
I'm
Charlie?
pointing at Coach.
Okay.
Yeah, he was hitting me up since sophomore year.
Coach
so
over here skulking away.
I was planning on playing club basketball, but high school basketball literally went like straight into club basketball. There was no break, and I kind of needed a break. And they went out to their first 7-on-7 tournament at La Jolla. I was like, "How was it? Was it fun?" And they were like, "Dude, that was the most fun we've had in a long time." So I came out, and it's honestly been going better than I expected.
yeah.
So you guys do a little bit of 7-on-7. Did it click right away? Maybe Coach can comment on this better.
Yeah,
Were there pieces right away where you're like, hey, like I got me a little something here. We can't get too out of control, but I got me a little something. Or did it?
I feel the same way Charlie does. I'm super confident too. Like these guys came out that first day at La Jolla. I think Gavin caught like a one-handed touchdown. Corner of the end zone.
I came the next week and I caught 2 touchdowns in the first game.
And Charlie throwing all of these?
No, Charlie didn't come until the third
This
week.
before he even showed up yet.
He came the third week.
So
he
you
was
guys
like
gelled with a
Gavin came
before
first
Charlie
week,
got
second
there,
week
and then
me.
Charlie came and
snaked
the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like natural out the gate. So
Gavin, what was that first touchdown like?
It was. I didn't even plan on playing that day. That's the thing. Yeah, I went to just go watch him because Orlando on our team, he had me go watch him, and then they're like, "Hey, just put some cleats on. Put some cleats on." So I went out there and I played, and then ever since then, I got him out there, and then we all just started coming.
Hey, wait. It's okay. Okay, wait, hold on, guy. I got to get this back to camera one. this is why I make jokes about this team. The kid is like, I didn't even plan on doing anything. I was just there to support them. Oh, put some cleats on. I'm going to go grab some tutties. Like, that's stupid. At some point, though, it had to translate from, like, hype to reality. Was that week one of actually having pads on? Was that the first game? Because at some point, it had to actually, like, you guys had to actually start playing football. And I feel like there might have been some growing pains, but it seems like out the gate, you guys have been pretty successful.
I feel like for me, after we had the scrimmage with Brawley for the SDFNL, like Zay, he actually caught a pick that first game or that first scrimmage. Charlie, I was kind of worried about Charlie's. I was like, shoot, you know, it moves kind of fast, that quarterback, but he got out there, he was commanding it. Took a few hits, you know what I mean, got right back up. So, you know, once we saw that, you know, it was just, you know, rolling on through the rest of the season at that point.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I feel like a big thing for me, what clicked about the hype versus reality was over the weeks of 7-on-7 when I was getting my film out to these recruits and I was getting myself hyped up and sending them all my highlights. The first week coming into pads, Coach Tate kept reminding me, like, that hype could all go away in 1 second if you come out here and you're trash on the field when you put them pads on. So, like, I feel like that first week, once he ran through me, I had to just get my ass back up and just.
Well, okay, I'm curious about first hits because oftentimes that's
hilarious.
My first hit was him. It was like after board drills, my first like real hit. He ran through my face and my neck snapped back, and it was the worst feeling ever. I haven't felt that since.
Well,
like,
so what I wanted to then bring up was normally if you are just new to football, one of the first things you learn is don't hit the quarterback. Quarterbacks can, no, I'm saying fragile, but they can be valuable merchandise. So I have to ask myself, dear God, Charlie, why was one of the first clips that I ever saw of you playing football, you at a scrimmage, putting your shoulder down for unnecessary yardage? It was dope. It was cool. Did you get yelled at immediately afterwards as, son, damn proud of you, but that's dumb?
Not by Coach Tate, but by my dad.
Good. I'm glad somebody did.
My dad. But honestly, like, I do need to work on sliding more. I've taken a couple hits. But I tell Coach Tate, like, I cross the line of scrimmage and I just try to get as many yards as I can. You know what I mean? Just a couple extra yards. If I'm on the sideline, the kid's not huge, I'm probably going to lower the shoulder a little bit.
And it feels nice and it looks great, but it just looks so reckless from the third point, like the 30,000 point of view where you're like looking down and you're like, oh God, that's a quarterback.
I slid for the first time against La Jolla, and everybody was proud of me. So.
Have you seen Kenny Pickett's fake slide?
Yeah, I have.
Do you feel capable of executing one of those this season?
I might have to work on the real slide first.
Okay.
But definitely, I think I could give me a week or two.
Because I feel like the fake slide, if you're already not really gonna slide all that much, why not just be like, whoop, gotcha, and then when he's on, backpedal all this, and just straight through him.
Yeah, I can try it out.
Coach, for you, this has to be pretty enjoyable, not just from a standpoint of like talent wise, but from a standpoint of enthusiasm. Like, you have a lot of kids here that seem like they are genuinely enjoying their year and enjoying playing for you, and you have to be pretty happy with 5-1. Yes, is this according to plan?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason I was in this guy's DMs, like you said, since he was like a sophomore, because you can see them walking on campus. And it's a crazy statement. Hey, let me run that back.
Hey, and that is to drive it home why you don't listen.
Hey, Charlie, you a child, dog.
For being Stephen A. and Skip. We're not serious hard journalists.
Can't run the mate.
We're people that accidentally wander into that.
Oh my goodness. Hey. No, but let me switch it up and say.
No, look, it would be a different thing if Chamberlain said it.
All right. Hey, but there's a reason I have been trying to recruit him to come out.
Yeah, because any coach would want Charlie. You're what, 6'3" from 6'10"? I don't know.
I'm 6'7".
6'7"? Okay, guys, everyone under 6 feet views everyone over 6 feet as just arbitrarily over 6 feet. So, but yeah, you would want anyone with that kind of size and build.
No, for sure. You would see these guys walking on campus, and obviously, in my opinion, the basketball team are like the best athletes in the school. So
at Mission Bay, yes,
yeah, for sure. So we wanted to get these guys out, and see what they can do. And they're talking about like when did it kind of click. For me, it was when we were at La Jolla. We competed against Madison, and Coach Jackson was like, "Hey man, you guys have a couple guys this year, you know." So that's a good thing to hear, and that just kind of boosted our confidence as well going on.
And the confidence, I mean, even with you guys losing for the first time this season, it still has to be pretty high. So where is the bar set for the rest of the year? I mean, you guys are, I'm assuming, going to give me we're doing it a week at a time, and great. Okay, that's fine with cliches. But, I mean, you guys aren't taking this just for 10 weeks. Like, you're thinking championship. Like, you want to make a deep playoff push, yes? That's where the bar is set?
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I mean, does that come just from your guys' experience in basketball already, like you said, knowing how to get there, or is that something that you walked in and found that's already where the bar was set at this football program?
Yeah, they went to the championship in D5 2 years ago, semifinals last year. We came off a D1 championship run. So coming in, I think when it really clicked was after the Christian game, because that was the first game. Or what are we going to do? I think Cal Preps had us like with a 25% chance to win, 21% chance to win. And we went out there and beat them 31-13, 31-19. And that's when it kind of clicked. Like by week 10, by playoffs, we're going to be infinitely better. So we can make a deep playoff run, go win a championship.
What's the difference in athleticism required between basketball? I mean, do you guys feel like you're gonna come back stronger and faster and better for basketball, right?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't necessarily different skill sets. I mean, it's a different sport, but it's somewhat the same kind of horizontal, explosive athleticism.
Yeah, football, like it's more just the raw athleticism, the power, the footwork, the speed. The difference in basketball is, and not saying that because football is still all technique, especially as a quarterback. But basketball, I feel like it's more technique. Like, you got to be able to shoot, you got to be able to dribble, and it's like different. Whereas
hit people.
Whereas football, you go out there with just crazy athleticism, and they're gonna find a spot for you.
Yeah, if you're just an edge rusher who's crazy, you'll eventually figure it out. All right. I'm curious about the offensive line experience in front of Charlie. For you guys, what has it been? Was there ever a lack of confidence in a quarterback that had never played at the high school level, or was this just, hey, let's go out there and get the job done?
No, I don't think we ever lacked any confidence in Charlie, especially, I mean, we had Ethan Silver. We came from a lot of great quarterbacks.
Well, you guys have had really good traditional pocket passers, I would say, with ability to run, but you've had good throwing quarterbacks. For the last 3-4 years.
Yeah, I mean, Clash was amazing. I mean, Ethan was great too, but we definitely liked the fact that he's 6'7", you know what I mean? Because Ethan had an issue with,
less of a Drew Brees vibe and more of a...
Shout out to Baby E, man.
But yeah, I mean, we never doubted him. I mean, we knew he was a great athlete already, and, he had been around the game of football. And, I've known him since, Little League and stuff. And
back when he threw Chad.
Yeah, back when he threw gas,
Yes.
And then,
gas, right. Sorry.
So we were excited, and we never had any doubt. He proved himself, week 1 right there. We were rolling with him ever since then. Yeah.
So you guys seem like you're obviously all friends. Seems like the team's pretty loosey-goosey. Who is in charge of the vibes? Who's the team? Is there a team captain that is also like Charlie? Are you just in charge of everything? Like, are you picking music, picking jerseys, picking team game, team food?
I don't think they would agree with my pregame odds.
Okay.
I mean, like me personally, I think I'm like the energy, like one of the energy plugs to the team. Just when it comes to inside in practice, like making sure that like it's not too serious out there, but like we out there having fun and be able to joke.
Occasionally has to do punishment conditioning for not taking.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not occasional.
But I feel like me being how energetic I am, like it's just like a little plug to the team just to make it a fun environment instead of just like serious and we all just like hitting each other head to head all practice,
Yeah, go ahead, try.
I want to give a shout out to.
It's awful. We need to. I promise you, coach is not just having them bash heads during practice. I promise you that is not what practice is. Go ahead, Charlie.
I was gonna say I also want to give a shout out to Caden Taff.
Yeah.
He was big on our vibes. He was starting linebacker, starting running back. Unfortunately, he's out for the season.
Is he still with you guys though, doing the vibes, or is
He's on the sideline.
He's been injured. He's gonna come back next week on the sidelines. But he was big, just as far as keeping us locked in, keeping us ready to go, and he was another big vibes guy.
What's been on the pregame playlist, or what's been bumping at practice for you guys this year?
For him, it's CEO Trail all the time. It's horrible music to me, but I still bump it because I like it for him. You know, if it gets him hype, we all hype.
But like, when you do the side thumb, there are 3 people to your left. And
Coach Tate.
That for the listeners, it's much easier to follow.
And then I'm always on Ox before games. It's more of like just NBA Youngboy, EBK Jabo, stuff like that. He always gives me good songs to put on. You know, I feel like everyone in this team is in general like a part of all the vibes. Like we became a family real quick. Like implementing us 6 guys, like each one of us have all became family members with each other, which I think is a big thing. And that's why our energy is always so great on the team. And knowing how I've heard like things about. Never mind. I'm not going to say, but yeah.
Oh, good. So for you guys that are the returning football players, yes, are the 2 of you. You guys have to just view this as like icing on the cake. You guys have already been in a couple of deep playoff runs the last couple of years, and instead of graduation coming through and draining or anything like that, you're back in the side. Like you guys are going to end up being potentially the best stretch of Mission Bay football since Dylan Baxter was there, as far as I understand. Has that kind of as the grander scheme of what the last couple of years soaked in a little bit, or no?
I think once we win CIF, it all like started to sink in a little bit more, because like we're all athletes and stuff, but like I don't know, we're all just athletes, I guess.
So a team of positionless guys necessarily. Like if we played musical chairs and everybody just had to keep rotating one position until we stopped the music, like you feel like pretty confident that the team could roll out with could do a drive.
Yeah, of course.
I remember Gavin was convinced that he was going to go play quarterback.
You have to have an uncomfortable conversation with him and say, "Hey, Gavin, I threw gas in Little League. Let's make this happen."
This is before Charlie wanted to come out, right? And I'm with Orlando, and he's telling, "Hey, we don't have a quarterback this year." So he's helping me, right? Worked on quarterback, but then we convinced Charlie to come out, and then I turned over DB, and then it all works out.
I'll never forget, because I was this was before I was going to play football. Gavin was like, "Yo, I got to work on my throwing form." So we go over to the Mission Bay softball field. I'm running routes, and Gavin just cannot throw at all. And I was like, "Hey, you might have to start running routes." And he didn't throw again. So
it's good to know at least.
Yeah.
You can't say you didn't try.
He was about to be the quarterback before this season.
Oh, yeah,
he has a arm like a mug. It's crazy. That boy will throw like 90 yards.
So what? Just in case there's a lateral backwards on defense on a special play.
But the thing is, he's our like hardest hitter on the team. Definitely, he'll put his face into someone's face and just smack them every time.
Straight through. Yeah. What did Marshawn Lynch say? Run straight through a mother bleeper's face.
Over and over.
Do I date myself if I say that, or do you guys know Marshawn Lynch as a football player? Or
Yeah.
Okay. Whew. Kick saving a boot there. Thank you for lying, even if you didn't know who he was. Okay. This has taken up a lot of people's time, and I appreciate everyone listening. I will close with 2 questions. One is, how is the school responding to you guys? People showing up appropriately, or do we need to gently call out the student section and remind them that there are more home games to attend this year?
Well, we've had a really good student section this year.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't know. I can't really speak on past years, but
I remember going to the games because we always had to as basketball teammates, and like we'd all sit there and think it was the lamest thing ever because there's no one ever in the student section.
Why'd you say that?
But now we lit.
No. Hey, he said the disclaimer. He was talking about the student section, not the football.
Yeah, not the football team, but like
and
now,
also, you can see how it can be hard to shoot some strays out, or easy to shoot some strays out. You're just talking, boom,
But
someone catches one.
ours,
He did that on purpose.
Our student
This
our
year,
student
though?
section is good this year.
Really good this year.
Well, you guys are also probably spoiled because packing a basketball stadium is a lot easier than packing a football stadium.
Yeah, and in general, we always have like more. Like I feel like
Well, yeah, it's always
more
it's
people
always
at
backed
basketball.
up. I don't know. We were talking just the other day about the difference between like basketball stands and football stands because basketball, it's smaller, but it's also like a lot more intimate. You know, everybody like you have no helmet on. You're looking at everybody's face. They're courtside talking trash to you.
But okay, so for you guys as seniors, it is all of you. Okay, so this is a wide-ranging question, and I know that this is not something that like, everyone's going to have the same answer or even a good answer. But I do always like to ask seniors, what is the legacy that you guys want to leave behind for this football program as a senior class?
The legacy I want to leave behind is just like making sure all the kids who will come behind me is to like never hold yourself back and always just go for what you think that you can do. And I feel like just like if you could be a multi-sport athlete, do it. Like just do it, because I feel like if something good comes out of this that I think may come out for me or any of these guys, that'll just set a legacy on Mission Bay football and basketball all in one. So
you guys are making Mission Bay basketball better by stretching your legs out and going to be football players.
yeah.
Open question to everybody. All of you guys are parts of the football program.
I would just say, like, I guess, I mean, starting out as like a freshman and we were like a D5 team, if I could leave the school and leave the football team at like D2 or something, then I think that would be a pretty cool thing to do. Yeah. And yeah, as far as like legacy or whatever.
No more rematches against Palo Verde in the playoffs.
Oh, no.
Done with that school.
So
Done with that school. Anyone else? No? All right. Well, thank you then, everybody, for joining us. And we will close out with one other thing. The first ever cross school year plot line that we get to close out is, and I point back there like anybody's going to know what's back there, but the student wall that we have people sign, the studio door, has a free Zay hashtag on it. Zay's free. We can actually update. Zay's free. I'm here. They finally let Zay out. He had been kept in a dungeon underneath Mission Bay's high school for the last 6 months. Till then, we hope you guys are utterly offended by everything that we say on this podcast, and we'll talk to you guys soon, sports fans.